On the agenda tonight, we're going to be taking a look at Chris Isaak, and he's going to be performing Wicked Game. Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So let's get Chris and the band up on screen and see how they get on.
World was on fire, no one could save me but you. Strange what desire will make foolish lovers do. I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you. I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This world is only gonna break your heart. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This world is only gonna break your heart with you. With you.
I'm just going to jump in here. As always, there's a link in the description below if you want to watch it the whole way through without me interrupting it. But I mean, this performance and the song in general is just all about subtlety and the guitar work going on here with the whammy bar. The way that we have that intro where you've got to kind of push your whammy bar down, and then it's actually a hammer on, I do believe, for the second note, and then you allow your whammy bar to come up. I might get the guitar out in a second, but I think you've got to have exactly the right sound to achieve this with a hammer on, because it's certainly sounding really crisp and sensitive on the fretboard. But anyway, getting back to this, I have just got on screen the pitch monitoring software, because during the chorus, I mean, it seems like in the verse that we've got Chris's voice and, you know, it sounds great. And when we get to the chorus, we start to get this sound of quite heavy pitch correction going on. And just taking it back, if we look at the pitch monitoring software, which I'll show on screen now, the other thing that really gives it away are the backing harmonies, because, I mean, those are borderline talk box in terms of, like, not that it is, but just playing a note, you're having a tube in your mouth and either playing guitar or playing keyboards, so that we're getting a note coming out at 440 hertz. So, I mean, when we do look back at this, if I just allow this to play through, actually you can see that it has been, pitch corrected the whole way through. But let's listen again.
World was on fire, no one could save me but you.
So we can see here, just absolutely dead on the E3, and, you know, again, C#3 here, absolutely dead on, and the B2, you know, starts dead on, but this is the thing that at this point it isn't too heavily edited. We'll listen on.
Strange what desire will make foolish lovers do.
I think the thing that actually highlights or exaggerates this is knowing the original song, because Chris has one of those really expressive voices. So as soon as anything's done to that to kind of edit the pitch of it, you lose a bit of the expressiveness. And, you know, here, I mean, it's still, you know, sounding great because we have a bit of expression left in here.
I never dreamed that I'd meet somebody like you.
So, I mean, here again, C#4 on the line, A3 on the line, B3 on the line, F sharp 3 on the line. Yeah, so we know from all of our previous analysis videos that this doesn't happen. The best vocalists in terms of hitting pitches can hit pitches, maybe twice in a row, maybe 3 times in a row. It's not just a constant kind of, bang, 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 time after time. But we'll let this play through.
I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This world is only gonna break your heart. No, I don't wanna fall in love.
So we have this, we do have vibrato at the top here, the F sharp 4, and this is part of Chris's technique, the way that he allows his voice to flip into head voice. So you get this break in the voice, almost this flipping sound, so that we get a really clean high note. Obviously, yeah, this has been very heavily pitch corrected. If we do look at it in detail, not that we need to, but when you zoom in really close, you can see that we are literally to an error of 0 to 1 cents here, which is just not the way that the human voice works. It can't do this. When we've zoomed in before, I've shown you the difference between something that looks like it's on the line when you zoom in, but then actually it's not, and then like this where you zoom in and it is stuck to 440 hertz. So anyway, back to the vocal technique. I think that most guys' voices actually do this. They have a break from their chest voice into their head voice, and you get this flip sound. It's not something that my voice does. Like, I can't do this. If I go nah, my voice just goes straight up. It doesn't do that flip. Even when I go it kind of just stays in the same place. And I know that doing vocal training, people spend a very long time trying to get rid of this flip so that they can glide up to higher notes without the break in there. But I'm either lucky that I can do it or unlucky that I can't do it, because I know that having the flip in your voice helps you to do other things and for example, unlock range without having to strain as much and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know whether it's a lucky thing or an unlucky thing, but my voice doesn't do it. But when you hear it done, it is a very unique sound. When I'm watching a performance like this, I can't get past the fact that it's almost like, it's not as bad as nails down a blackboard, kind of scratching nails, but it's something that kind of eats away at my ear because the pitch is too, I don't know what the right word is, manipulated. It's not real what we're hearing. And yeah, I mean, probably doing these analysis videos doesn't help because it just reinforces it. As soon as I hear it, it really stands out. But something to focus in on is the guitar playing here, because it is so subtle. And I guess this is the other problem that I do have with performances like this. Obviously, it looks like a rehearsal room. It's been set up professionally. Whether they did more than one take, I do not know. Whether they then pieced it together from different takes, again, I don't know that. But as soon as I hear a vocal that is heavily edited, unfortunately, you then think, well, how much of what we're hearing was actually the performance? And it might be the case that everything else was fully live. It's just the vocals that have been manipulated and the backing vocals. So yeah, but listen to the quality of the backing and the way that the guitar playing is just absolutely spot on. But just quickly to point out about this intro, the fact that we push down on the whammy bar and then it's allowed to just come up a little bit. Like I said, that's actually going to be a hammer-on. Because of my guitar and this amp, which is very unforgiving, we have... And as much as I hammer on there, like that was quite an extreme hammer on, I'm not getting any action from that. You can hardly hear that on my B string, sadly. But it's all about whammy bar control here. And this is the other thing, that when we've kind of got the... There are really subtle wobbles that are going on. Probably like... Oh... Yeah, that kind of thing. But it is so crisp with the playing that, I mean, it's absolutely faultless the whole way through. It's all to do with palm muting, and I think sometimes you'll see a chord shape being played, like at the end there when I had that sliding up here. You might see the third finger come over, not to fret a note, but to keep these low strings from ringing out. So yeah, it's all about muting here and just playing with real subtlety and obviously dynamic appreciation to set the right sound, set the right mood. And this is why it is a shame that the vocals are so edited, because on the original they're not. And you kind of want to hear, I mean, there's no doubt on the original, in the chorus, where we have this flip and Chris goes up into his head voice, it is flat on the original recording, but that gives it that kind of uneasy sound because the note isn't dead on 440 hertz. It gives you that emotion of not quite being in the right place, but it gives the whole song a particular feel because that's obviously what you're listening into, that lead vocal. So when that lead vocal is now stuck to all the rest of the tuning of the band, it just becomes more like an instrument, more like a keyboard. So yeah, for me it does detract from it, unfortunately. But anyway, yeah, listening to the instrumentation here, just the subtlety and the dynamic appreciation that we have across the band and the mood that sets up.
What a wicked game to play, to let me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do, let me dream of you. What a wicked thing to say.
Okay, yeah, so that's the kind of thing that you will get occasionally where the processor has to work a little bit harder because the note might have been further away from the destination that it's trying to snap it to. So we'll just listen to this in isolation.
What a wicked thing to say.
So this first part of Thing, you can actually hear the processing going on there, but we'll jump back into it.
You never felt this way. What a wicked thing to do. Let me dream of you, and I don't wanna fall in love. This world is only gonna break your heart. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This world is only gonna break your heart with you. Fire, no one could save me but you. Strange what desire will make foolish lovers do. I never dreamed that I'd love somebody like you. I never dreamed that I'd lose somebody like you. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This world is only gonna break your heart. No, I don't wanna fall in love. This world is only gonna break your heart with you. This world is only gonna break your heart with you. a while.
And there we have it. We had a couple of very weird things that happened at the end there. I mean, the first kind of weird thing, but we know that it's happening now, is this held note, which is absolutely crazy, really, when we're looking at, we are zoomed in here, so we can see that there's zero variation in the voice here, and it actually does cut out. So the pitch monitoring software loses the voice, and then when it picks it up again, it's still exactly on the line. So yeah, that's literally like playing a piano, but somebody's voice being turned into a piano. So the other weird thing that happened was at the end here. Hang on, let me just get this back.
Nobody.
Okay, right, so here we have a backing vocal that has been left in and nobody seems to be singing it. Hang on.
Nobody.
Okay, right, so, getting rid of this on the screen. I can't see anybody singing into a microphone at this point. And unfortunately, the harmony is way off. Let me take this down. Maybe you'll be able to hear this a little bit more clearly if I turn it up a bit. So, we've got nobody, and the harmony should be nobody. So those are the notes that should be together. But when we listen to it,
nobody.
Somebody's hitting a harmony that is way off what it should be. And again, this is the thing, that this is obviously an accident, that somebody mixing this together, like I said, I don't know if they've done multiple takes, but this performance is so perfect that you think, well, maybe it was the culmination of a few takes and taking all the best sections of each take. I don't know how they've done it, but this kind of thing at the end immediately makes you suspicious, because somebody mixing this hasn't heard that this has been left in, because there's no reason to leave this in when you have so heavily edited the lead vocals and the backing vocals. Obviously, with all the instrumentation going on, they haven't been able to hear that, oh, one of the harmony voices from maybe another take has been left on at the end. And this is what it sounds like.
Nobody.
So that's the harmony that's being hit. Now, when you put that with the backing in the mix, we can hear how off it is.
Nobody.
So it's a totally irrelevant note to the key. It's a bit of a shame, this one, because I sometimes get videos like this where people ask me to analyse a particular performance, and this is written, or this video has been uploaded as live. And I say live in inverted commas because I class live as something that is the sound that was made when it was recorded. But when something's been edited, like vocals, for example, from a pitch perspective, that isn't how it sounded when they made the noise. It's like making a random noise and then changing that noise so that it now hits a particular note. You don't get to hear what the noise was before. You don't get to hear the pitch of the noise. So I don't class that as live, but I know that a lot of people class this kind of thing as live, even though it's been edited afterwards to a sound that wasn't the sound that was made. So I'm a bit old school in that I class live as what was actually made at the time that they were playing. Like the footage that we're looking at, the sound that was created with this footage, or from all of the actions that are going on, whether it be the voice or the guitar. So yeah, it is a bit of a shame when there are live performances people want me to analyse when we're not hearing the live sound. So yeah, and as soon as one thing isn't live, then you start to think, well, how much of this actually is live? I analyse every video in exactly the same way. If there's anything that has been edited on it, I will point it out. And that's the thing about the pitch monitoring software, is that we can see instantly as soon as something isn't quite as it should be. And this is one of those examples where the song is, I don't know, the song is slightly flat in sections with the vocal, and it's quite freeform with the vocal. There's no way, you don't even have to analyze it. We don't have to run it through the pitch monitoring software. Anyone can hear that it's not directly over lines. It's not 440 hertz because it has expression and it has a mood to it. And just by Chris having that natural kind of voice gives it that mood. But Chris's natural voice has been taken out of this performance, sadly. But dynamically, listen to the guitars, you know, the drums as well, the brushes that we have going on. Again, really nice mood in this song. But for me, the vocal is such a huge part of this. On the original, that when you hear it live, you want to hear the vocal with all of that expression and the lack of accuracy that gives the expression. You want to hear that in a live performance. Thank you for requesting this particular performance for me to take a look at. And as always, keep those suggestions and requests coming in the comments section below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock.